Okay, welcome back. Calculating pressure we end up doing twice in grade 8. We start out the first unit having a look at that in mix and flow of matter, and then we revisit it again. So this one students usually do pretty well with. Pressure, just like any other formula, we need to be identifying variables. And we get pressure created whenever a force is applied to an area, over an area. So this is where you get that formula from. Pressure, because of forces in newtons and area, can be in centimeters squared, but most often meters squared. It can have the units of Newton per meter squared, or it can have the units called a Pascal. Now, if you did happen to have centimeters squared here, we just can't call it a Pascal. We would leave that answer as newtons per centimeter squared. Okay, so I guess you might want to say there's really 3 acceptable possible units that you can express it as. When in doubt, if you've kept your units in your substitution step and you can't remember what that unit was, then just leave those units there if they don't cancel out, and these don't cancel out. Alright, so let's do a sample calculation for pressure. Okay, we want to identify our variables. A woman is applying 100 newtons of force onto a doorknob with her hand. Her hand has an area of 0.02 meters squared. Work out the pressure being applied. Alright, so there's our force, and there is the area that it's applied to. So we're ready to go ahead with our force over area formula. 100 newtons divided by 0.02 meters squared. Well, this will be a big number. We've got 100 divided by 0.02 comes out to 5,000 pascals, or Newton per meter squared of pressure. So pressure, 1 Pascal is not very strong. It's kind of like the force of maybe a textbook, 1 Newton lying over a desk area, which is maybe 1 meter squared, 1 Newton over 1 meter squared. So it's actually a very small value. So you quite often get large numbers because the unit's so small. And sometimes we even express it in kilopascals. And what that means is that you're having a group of 1,000 of them. So if I wanted to express this answer in groups of 1,000, I might say, well, I've got 5,000 here, so I've actually got 5 groups of 1,000, or 5 kilopascals. Okay, there's a few times where you may have to convert that way. My rule of thumb is that if you're going to a larger unit, okay, kilopascals is a larger unit than pascals, then your number will get smaller. If you're going down to a smaller unit, then the number of them will get bigger. So you're multiplying. Alright, anyway, have fun with that. If you want, try out the next video, which will be on pressure and hydraulic systems.